Hello there, this is Heirs to the Kingdom channel, and today's lesson we're doing chapters 27 and 28 of the book of Genesis. If you're new to this, it's a Bible study channel, going through the King James Bible, not skipping anything as Scripture's command. So, if you would, like, subscribe, and share this content, we'll go ahead and get started into the lesson. So, we've already went through Abraham. Sarah has passed away. Abraham has passed away. He remarried, had more children with another woman called wife, but also called concubine. Isaac and Ishmael buried Abraham, of course, with Sarah, his wife. And so that's pretty much all we hear about Ishmael anymore. This all happened, I think Ishmael was like 75 years old, something of that nature. Anyways, Isaac has married Rebekah, had two sons, Esau and Jacob. Of course, they're growing up. Esau traded off his birthright for food to Jacob. Esau has married outside the wishes of Isaac, his father, married Hittite women, two of them. Isaac's married to Rebekah, and so, of course, Isaac's married to Rebekah because they had Esau and Jacob. Jacob has yet to go find his wife. He goes off to an area. We're going to get to that in these lessons coming up. Because Jacob ends up with two wives, two concubines, and from him comes the 12 tribes of Israel, because he's going to be renamed Israel. So I'm just getting ahead of myself there a little bit. Let's continue on here and start this lesson, chapter 27, verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, my weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison. Of course, that's deer. And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. So here he is going to give the blessings to the eldest son. But Rebekah knows that he already sold his birthright for food. So it's supposed to go to Jacob now. But more than likely, Isaac doesn't know of this. And of course, Esau is not going to remind him of it because he wants the birthright, even though he done sold it. Verse 5, And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said unto Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me by thy curse, my son, only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according to thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, The voice of Jacob's voice, but the hands are of the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother's Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out of the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. So even Esau is not wanting to uphold, that he gave away his birthright. He still wants to use it. Let's continue on here, 35. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Now, normally the blessing is part of the birthright. But let's continue on, 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise. Flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days, until thy brother's fury turn away, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life, because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? And Isaac called Jacob, and blessed him, and charged him, and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Rise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence, of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. So in this instance, if the father's still having children, which he is, he's asking his son Jacob to go marry an aunt. Let's continue on here. Chapter 28, verse 3. And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee, and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan Aram unto Laban, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padan Aram, to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Padan Aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. So now that makes 3 wives to Esau. Verse 10. And Jacob went out from Beersheba, and went toward Haran. And he lifted up a certain place. Lighted up. And he lighted upon a certain place, and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place, and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up upon the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham, thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So it said, even at this time, the prophecies of Jesus is upon. We're still in the first book of Genesis, already talking about Jesus. Let's continue on here, 15. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose up early in the morning, and took the stone that he had put for his pillows, and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it. Now, we always look at the word dreadful as something bad. But another definition of this in these times is divine judgment, or something to awe about, not just intense fear. So, it has multiple meanings, and it doesn't mean something bad. So let's finish on with 19. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house, and of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the 10th unto thee. So here, just like the first time I read through all this, is the first mentioning of giving a 10th of what thou have, that what thou have been blessed with, giving it back to God. But, it's not always just a 10th of money. It can be a 10th of anything. But normally it's supposed to be a 10%, 10% of your first fruits. The first of everything that you make for whatever that time is, a week or a month. Could be numerous things. Livestock was one of the primary trading goods, because most people didn't carry currency. Did them not much good. Even though it was used by a lot of people, They also would take chickens, goats, sheep, oxen, camels, so on and so forth. But that's the end of this lesson. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. In this lesson, it's showing Jacob being a little deceitful to receive what Esau sold to him. The one thing we notice from this is God did not curse him for it. God was not angry at him for it. Why? Jacob was deceitful about it, but it was part, of the birthright. It's supposed to be what he inherits. The birthright means that he is now the firstborn. He's supposed to receive the blessing, all the property, everything else. I don't know when in the world they thought that everything's supposed to be divided amongst the children evenly when it comes time to, for the inheritance of the parents. But that used to not be the case. It went to the eldest. And the younger sons would normally work for the eldest or go off and do their own thing. As I said, I don't know when it switched, but now everyone thinks that they're deserving of something, even though it's supposed to go to the firstborn. There's a lot of things in society that's no longer being done as the Bible teaches. These are things we need to get back to praying about. It's like, is America on the right path following God? Not one bit anymore. Seemed like part of the country is trying to go back to that, and part of the country isn't. So it's a turmoil, things to pray about. How do we fix this problem? How do we get America back and following God? I don't know if it can be. It ain't that we just start doing something else. It's like they've got this stuff passed into law. That's a totally different thing to battle against, because now not only do you have to try to win hearts and minds to start doing the things right, you got to get politicians to remove the law. But yeah, like I said, there's always something to pray about. Lost, found, yourself, others, all people, all nations, all situations. There's always something. Don't forget to pray for America and the people therein. And now, if you're in another country, pray for your country and the people therein. And pray for all other nations as well. Don't forget to give God all the praise, glory, and worship, and thanks in everything, the good, bad, ugly, and the indifferent. I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson here. So, until next time, God bless, good night, and goodbye.